Hi, welcome to One Word Today. I'm Sophia, pilot into the universe of Chinese. We're going to continue our exploration, and for this is a special edition that based on the inspiration from the recent early August 2023 incident of a bunch of Chinese students paint this graffiti wall in Britain, white, like whitewashed everything else beneath it, and then paint the 12 core socialist core values onto it. So this became a talking point of many social commentaries, because it's kind of a confrontation, right? Confrontational, but at the same time, it's freedom of expression, because that's a kind of expression, no matter how minimalist or came in this format is, and it did trigger discussion over there. So we have been covering each of the core values from the language point of view of how Chinese, from its ancient collection of Chinese characters, and then combine them. All of them are two characters in combination to some core values. So when it becomes values, it's more abstract, right? It's a whole cultural and societal framing of how they are going to think about things. So we have been talking about 自由平等. Today we're going to talk about 公正. Okay, 公正. It's relatively simple Chinese character rendering, like each one are below 5 strokes. Why I know 5 strokes so quickly? Because this contemporary Chinese 5-stroke standard. So when Chinese are counting things, we would write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 strokes. In English, at least here, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes, and then use horizontal line to connect them all. That's how to count 5 visually, right? So Chinese use this character because it's exactly 5 strokes to count to 5. Interesting. Okay, so 公 came from this public. Now I kind of, okay, public. There is a twist of plot over there. Okay, so this hook thing, it almost like a perfect hook. Something you can purchase from Home Depot, that shape of a hook, right? Actually means private, means it belongs to individual. It's not public. Okay, this, how do you say it? These two shapes means separation, right? It's like visually from your point of view, is something come together and then go separate ways. So that's a separation. So we have a private and then a separation. It could mean private stuff, then separate it, split it apart, or according to some scholars, that this separation means a negation, because this two almost like a mirror image, right? On left and right, is one is the mirror image of the other, one is the negation of the other. So it's a negation symbol, and this private symbol, which I don't exactly know. It looks like a key, right? We can interpret it as it's something locked up, so it belongs to somebody, belongs to the key holder, or it looks like you almost like draw a circle of something. It's like you're encirculate something. Within that circle, that's yours. It's not public. So this negation of this private property belongings then become public. Like it's not individually owned. It's shared by the public. So that's the public meaning. Up to interpretation, maybe we can come up with better understanding from our 21st century point of view back to when the language, this icon was originally created. All right, so that's public. 正, it means square. Well, the square, when you look at the two, public square, like public square, how does that come together to mean being fair or justice? This square actually doesn't mean the location where people gather, like a square. Even if that public square, the square, when it means square, actually came from, it's normally the shape of a square. It's the clearing in a village or town or clan, right, of kind of squarish location where there's no private buildings. It's for the public to gather. And that's probably where we call it square, because it came in a square shape. But here, the square doesn't mean the location, it means orientation. The reason why is you look, this symbol, it looks like one piece, right? But it pieced together actually by two symbols and intentionally, probably intentionally connect them together. The first horizontal line, the top of the frame, normally means the sky, okay? In this context, it means the direction you're going, the destination, okay? And then the bottom, this complicated thing, so it looks like cactus thing, right? And then there's one other vertical line connected to the horizontal line. It's actually an abstraction of three-toed foot. So we have a Chinese three-finger hand, and this is three-toed foot. And this is the big toe, the middle toe, the little toe. And then this is the arch or the sole of the foot. So you can question why Chinese have such a weird taste about how to represent their food, the foot. Okay, so this foot in Chinese symbolize stop, symbolize not moving, because interestingly, Chinese as a system of symbols have foot symbol, right? Have foot symbol plus some walking sign, which use three strokes to mean the foot tracks. That visually to show spatial movement. That pairing means you're actually walking. Without the three strokes of foot track, that means you're not walking, you're actually standing still. So this foot symbol by itself can be just foot or standing still. Depends on in what context you can interpret it differently. So now we have a context of having a goal, a destination. So that means somebody who is probably standing still, facing, orienting toward the goal. So it's almost like in navigation, you're correcting a course. So you are facing again to where you're going. At the moment, you're kind of standing still to check your orientation, right? And then decide that's the direction you should go. You're facing it directly. So that sense of navigating yourself or recalibrating yourself toward your destination, that orientation became the symbol for Chinese that kind of corresponding to the English concept of square, like you're facing some direction squarely, you're kind of perpendicular to that direction. Okay, they pronounce it as 正, right? So 公正, public square, like public, we're talking about the interest of the public. So it's a collection of people, not individual. And 正, we're talking about facing something squarely. It's not biased, right? It's not like slanted. You're facing it full front, facing. That's the sense of square. Okay, so together, 公正, then combine together to be the translation in Chinese corresponding to justice. So I guess justice means toward public within a collection of people. You're facing the problem squarely. You're not, prejudiced or biased or treat somebody lightly or heavily. Like you're distributing your weight, your value or priority, your resources squarely, like not exactly evenly because that Chinese translation of 平等 equality, but this means squarely. You're facing it, I guess it's systematically, in a square, fair kind of way. And then that's the Chinese translation of justice, 公正. All right, catching into the currency of thinking about what did I always say, Sophie? See you another day.